Back when I was still in primary school, I had an average view of school, like the 99% of do. Basically that school sucks, it's just a waste of time, you don't learn anything in it, you forget like 98% of everything that you learn. But in reality, apart from school, I had nothing going on in my life. No hobbies, no purpose, no business that I could focus on, nothing. I had nothing more important in my life than school, and that was the reason why I hated school so much, because it was my only way of guaranteed happy life. But now, as I am an entrepreneur, and I'm on self-improvement, grinding every single day, my view on school has changed tremendously. I remember that back when I was still in primary school, I was a really serious dude. Like, I always had this face on, basically like no emotion. No one talked to me, I don't want to talk to anyone. But even though sometimes I did want to communicate, but it was just hard for me to express any emotions, because I was totally dead inside, from the lack of fulfillment and gratification from real life. I had no sense of pleasure, apart from, instant gratification activities that were poisoning me back then. Like watching YouTube all day, playing Minecraft for 5 hours every single day, fapping like 5 times every single day. It was horrible. And so I remember this time. It was around early 2022. It was just the time when I was about to leave primary school and head to a middle school. And you see, we were submitting these applications to the middle schools where we wanted to go. And boy, it was a long and a painful process to get through. And around the same time, I had one of the worst periods of my life, so I wasn't really in the mood. And it got so bad that when I actually fixed this, and the application was sent successfully through like the person that was responsible at our school for sending out the applications to the other schools. And I was actually happy for the first time in like 3 months by that point. And I actually started to smile for the first time. My classmates thought that I had taken some drugs and that I was literally high just because I was showing any kind of positive emotions for the first time, which was pretty odd because I was always the guy who liked to help everyone. I was always the guy who never made fun of anyone. And so that really hurt my feelings, but in a weird way, it actually empowered me and it laid the foundation for future improvement. And the next story happened around a year and a half later than this one, which we just talked about. And basically, we had this exam from our religion lesson. It was basically about the 4 great authors, or I think they were called like that, who recorded Jesus Christ basically existing. And the depressed and undisciplined piece of shit that I was back then, I did not study enough for that exam. Now, of course, I read some of the theory that I had in my notebook, but not to its entirety. And then I found out, actually, before the exam even happened, that I had only 1/2 of the entire theory that we were supposed to have written down in our notebooks. And without even, messaging my classmates so that I could write the theory from them. Instead, I just laid there like a lazy maggot and I didn't message them at all. And then I wondered why I got a D from that exam. And in a weird way, that didn't make me disappointed. It didn't make me angry. But now looking at it, I'm grateful that it happened because it has strengthened me tremendously. And you see, since I'm now on self-improvement and I've improved my stoicism skill, my discipline, and my willpower, I can safely say that now I actually love school. But not actually love like I want to go to university and study like a psychopath. No, I mean like it is a great life teacher. And I didn't knew this back then. It was now when I got onto self-improvement that I actually realized this. Because when you get onto self-improvement and you start to become more masculine, you start to learn about stoicism and all of these great techniques on how to become more masculine, that's when you actually start appreciating school and its lessons that it gives you. And not just, like the class lessons. No, I mean life lessons in general. So in this video, we'll go over 4 ways of how even you from today can leverage school to your advantage. And stop being like the lazy 99% of people who just tell you to, oh, it's okay, just play 1 hour of video games at the end of the day. Oh, it's okay if you just take some alcohol today and drink it with us. It won't poison you at all, you're still young. Why are you working on yourself? It's useless. Just enjoy your early teens and 20s. Look, I'm having the best time of my entire life. And yet he has like liver poisoning or something like that from all the alcohol that he has been drinking. You don't want to be like those pathetic losers, right? We are young men on self-improvement, and I know that you want to be part of our clan, and that you want to be part of the 1% of men who are working hard on themselves and achieving their goals and their dreams. So reject the status quo and join us on this journey to greatness. Good job for watching videos like these. And if you take action, you honestly have my respect. So without any further ado, welcome to our clan, and let's get to the advantages that school provides for us. The first big advantage that school gives us is exams. You see, exams truly show you how disciplined you are in life and in your everyday work. Because you see, I guarantee you that you getting that bad grade, whether it was a C, a D, or an F, 99% of the time, it was because you just didn't prepare enough. You probably never asked your teachers for, the things that you didn't understand. Let me be completely honest. The reason why I got a C 99% of the time from my exams was because of my bad mental health, of course, and because I just didn't care enough to actually research the topic, like ask my teachers, read books, for example, or just look into the textbooks and our notebooks that we had written, for example. All I did was just read the notes that we had written for like 20 minutes or sometimes even less. And now granted, in one of my videos I said that I study for 30 minutes every single day and that I am fine. But that was before I improved my mental health tremendously. Now I can afford it to actually spend less time studying and more time on these things that actually fulfill me in the long term. And so from now on, you have to discipline yourself to actually put in the effort to study, to read books, to build up the courage to actually ask your teachers for advice and for the things that you don't understand. And the one thing that everyone is so scared to do nowadays is to ask a fuck ton of questions. Like, I mean, at the level of a 1-year-old. And at first it may seem harmless, but then everyone will come in and say stuff like, oh no, it will ruin my ego, I just take the pain and leave, for example. But then, how are you supposed to learn it? How does a 1-year-old learn a language? They ask a fuck ton of questions, they practice, and they observe the people around them, right? How do they learn everything so quickly? Well, it's because they ask questions all the time. And so you shouldn't be scared to ask questions when you don't understand something. Because every time you learn about a new skill or a new topic, you are at the level of that 1-year-old who doesn't know anything about it except for, the topic's name. And so you have to ask the people around you questions. You actually have to read books, watch long-form educational videos about it, and not be embarrassed, because at one point we were all at the level of that 1-year-old when we wanted to learn something new. So it's completely okay. It won't destroy your ego, and it won't make you lose respect in other people. Because here's the thing, if they actually laugh at you for investing your time into something productive, to actually learning a new skill, and to actually being interested in something and showing to other people that you're interested in it and that you want to master it, then those people don't belong in our clan. If they actually laugh at you, if they're actually that retarded, if they're actually that average and that stupid, why should you talk to them? We want to be like the 1% of people, right? We are the most quality men in the world because we want to actually improve ourselves. That right there is your competition. The pathetic people of the 99% who want to just enjoy their teens and fuck up their mental and physical health so that when they are 30, they have diseases for which they don't even know the names of. They cannot discipline themselves enough to actually tame their ego and just go for it. They are not courage enough, bro. They just aren't worth it. So why should you care about their opinions? If they actually laugh at your efforts, then that means that you're getting somewhere. And so if you want a community where you can ask a fuck ton of questions and actually get responses from us to even your dumbest questions that you can think about life, and if you want to get those questions from me also, then you can join our Discord in the description. And just so that I make sure that the next time you feel confident enough to actually ask your teachers, just type in yes in the comments. That's all you have to do. You can even comment like, yes, I will be confident or something like that if you want. But just a simple yes will do the job, because that right there will prove to me that you're worth it in being in our clan and that you're destined for success in the future. I'm sorry for the quick rant, but I just had to get this off of my chest because this was something that I was really insecure for most of my life. You see, when I was still going to primary school, I was really afraid of what the other people would think about me when I would ask those dumb questions. I remember there was this one time, in 7th grade I think, when we were learning this new topic in our math class and I just didn't understand it at all. And so naturally I just went to the best female classmate that was the smartest out of all of us. And she understood it perfectly. So I wanted to get some advice from her. And bro, when I came up to her and, asked her to actually say it out loud, she agreed and she told me it. And with my poor focus back then, I didn't understood what she said to me, because by that point she had been talking for like 3 minutes, I think. And so I asked her to repeat herself, and then she explained it again. But I just still couldn't take the grasp of it. I still couldn't understand it. So I just asked again and again. And everyone laughed at me after the 4th explanation, and maybe, just maybe, if I had asked her one more time to explain it to me, I might have actually understood it from that point onwards. But instead, when everyone laughed at me, I just said, okay, thank you so much for the help. And so I just went away. Bro. And not just this time. My entire time in primary school was wasted because I never actually asked the teachers around me to explain the topics that we were, learning about. Instead, I was just getting bad grades left, right and center because everyone always thought of me as the quote smart kid. And I didn't want to destroy my reputation. So yeah, I never tamed my ego. I never actually had the balls to actually ask the people around me because I cared too much about what they would think of me. Like for example, my teachers would look at me differently, for example. But then I realized that 99% of people from my primary school were average people. And so now I don't give a single fuck. And you shouldn't too. Because we are on self-improvement. We are aiming to be like the 1% of people. So why don't you just say it out loud right now? Say that you don't want to be like the 99% of people and that you don't care about them. And the next time they make fun of you, bro, just look at yourself and look at them. And just visualize yourself and them 15 years from now. Imagine yourself asking those awkward questions for the rest of your life and looking at all of the knowledge that you will gain over the years, the wealth, the relationships, etc. And the reason why I just spent so much time talking about exams and homework was because all of this foreshadows your business work. Because if you're still watching this video, then I assume that you're just like me. You want to start a business and you want to build a great empire, which gives you financial, location and time freedom. So you must discipline yourself to actually start learning to read books, to watch long-form educational videos on YouTube, and to have the courage to ask your great teachers for advice. Okay? Just have the balls and have the discipline, the motivation, and the confidence that they will respond to you in a positive sense. And don't be afraid to ask like 1000 questions, because they will happily answer you if they're actually a nice person of the 1%. The second great advantage that school provides for us is social intelligence. We already brushed up on this on the last point from my big rant, which I just had. But basically, social intelligence, basically in summary, means to just improve your social skills. Like start cold approaching people, enhancing the relationships that you already have, like deepening them with stories, with deep questions. You get what I'm saying? Because once again, the way you talk to people in school perfectly shows how your relationships are with the people outside your school. Because of course, you have dumbasses at your school, right? But there are dumbasses out on the streets also, and so that you can actually take advantage of it and to get the social intelligence from them, so that the next time you walk on the street and suddenly this drug addict, this crackhead, pulls a knife at you, and so you actually know how to talk to him, how to get him to relax, and how to actually scare him away. You get free social intelligence, and the other way around. Basically, with the high quality people, with the smartest people at your school, you can actually experience how it will be like when you get the real high quality people around you, like, your brothers in arms, your future wife, for example. It's just free social intelligence that you have at your disposal at any time you are in school. So just take advantage of it. The second great advantage that school provides for us is that it makes us solve situations, and it makes us think for ourselves. It improves our creativity when you think about it. When we have a homework or a group project, for example, we have to think creatively to actually solve the problem. And I saw this perfectly on my geography exam that I had like 2 months ago, I think. It was basically about North America. We had this blind map that we had to, fill out with the right answers. Basically, the teacher circled Florida with like the letter A, and then we had, it was the Florida Peninsula or something like that. And she did something very clever. She basically, on the back page where we had to write the right answers, she put the number 4 on the right answers page, but she didn't put it on the blind map. And when my classmates asked her about this, she just said, "What do you mean there's not a 4? Well, if there's not a 4, then just don't write anything in it." She mentally prepared us for the next time when we had to think for ourselves. And that's amazing. She turned us into authority figures for ourselves. She made us think for ourselves. And that helped us in solving the problem, because we actually thought for ourselves to solve it. And the fourth big advantage that school provides for us is mind enhancing. We already brushed upon this in the last point, but this one focuses more on the hard times that school takes us through. You see, the biggest growth that any human can receive is by going through hard times in any kind of way and form. You've heard this saying, right? Hard times create strong men create good times create weak men, and weak men create bad times, and bad times create strong men. Because let's be honest, if you never went through the hard times that school takes you through, you wouldn't be watching this video right now. You wouldn't be part of our clan in this movement of becoming the best version of ourselves. Hard times make you learn and take valuable life lessons. And you have already taken a great valuable life lesson by deciding to get onto the path of entrepreneurship and of self-improvement. Because otherwise, if you had just been the smart kid in your school, like everyone treats you nicely because you're the gifted kid, if you never went through the hard times in your school, you wouldn't be here today. You would have been in university right now, and you would be far away from finding out your purpose, your desires, and you most likely would have been hooked on instant gratification activities. Because apart from school, you would have nothing to focus on, right? And so this right here is the biggest advantage that school gives us. It is that it gives us valuable life lessons that we remember for the rest of our lives. We, as the Stoic men, we want to take advantage of everything that life throws at us. Every single temptation, every single test, every single trauma that we had, every mistake is a way of becoming stronger. And this is what school provides for us. And the best time where we grow, where we actually become strong and we quit being weak and we actually start doing something with our lives, is when we are put through hard times. And this is what school takes us through. It forcibly makes us face our challenges, to face the dumbass people, to think for ourselves, to discipline ourselves, to become more hardworking. And that's what we should be grateful for. And so discipline yourself to learn about the topics in which you want to get better in, improve your social intelligence, get better at thinking for yourself and solving problems. And whenever you find a challenge, a way of getting away from comfort, then take it. Because it will make you a better Stoic, it will make you a stronger man, and it will give you a powerful life lesson that you'll keep for the rest of your life. Nothing good in life comes for free, and so you have to go through discomfort, and that's what school teaches us. If you want the great stuff from life, if you want the long-term pleasures, like making a business that brings you financial, location and time freedom, if you want the godly 10 out of 10 physique, and if you want to have your dream wife, you have to go through hard times and through discomfort. If you want to once again join our clan and get closer to me and to other people who have the same interests as you, then join our Discord server in the description. I know that you will find your place in there. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching this video, and remember, no one is better at being you.